Welcome back to this part of the episode. Thanks for listening to the Gunpowder, Propane, and Jesus podcast. Let's light it up.
I'm a people person, right? So not being in a relationship, oh, man, it was so hard for me. But God told me my first year of Bible college, he said, just take a year off and don't date and just focus on me. And I was like, Lord, are you sure you said that? You know, but that's what he told me. So I tried it, and then it was literally one of the best years of my life, just focused on the Lord. And then that turned into 2, turned into 3, turned into 4 years of Bible college. And really, I didn't date at all through Bible college, right? I mean, I actually tried to reconcile with Rachel a few times. I tried to. We would talk through it, but, like, it just never, God never allowed that, you know? And so finally there was this girl I was going to date. Like, the week I graduated, bro, I had it all lined up. Like, I was going to take her to, like, Hilton Head with my parents, ask her to date me. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, here we go. I'm going to date this girl because this is, I just feel like, you know, she was pretty. She was cute, you know. It was like, all right, God, this must be who you have. Literally the night I graduated Bible college, Larry Meister came to our graduation. Like, he came. Like, her dad was there. Shook my hand, and immediately it was like God said, you gotta call Mindy. I was like, what? No way. So it's just crazy that God would put her in my mind. And Lord told me to go to Bible college, but it was after a lot of times in my life, God has never given me like a command or told me what to do next until I finished the last thing he told me to do. You know, that's just how it works for me. So it was just, that's how I work. And when I called Mindy, like that day, I was literally like praying through it. It's like, Lord, you want me to call her? I called her, and she totally blew me off, bro. Just totally blew me off. And like I called her, and she was like with the curls, and she's like, "What? Oh yeah, I remember you from years ago. Okay, I gotta go, kids. Bye, click. You know, just crazy." But after about a week, she showed up at Victory one night. Like, she came with her dad because her dad's like, "Hey, come to Victory. Let's go to church and let's just, you know, whatever." She showed up at Victory that night, and literally. It was, hold on, I have it right here. It's inside of my wedding ring.
That's a great idea.
June 3rd, 2012, she walked in the doors of Victory, back into my life for the first time. And it's engraved in my wedding ring. I had to take it off, sorry. So that night, and the Lord was like, and I had been living for God. I'd been serving him at Bible college for the last 4 years and hadn't dated. And I saw her. And we talked that night, went to Monterey's, of course, right? Because everybody goes to Monterey's. Right? Went to Monterey's, chips and salsa, and then the Lord, like, literally, he said these words in my heart. Delight thyself also in the Lord, and I'll give you the desires of your heart. That's what he told me. So he brought her to me because I was living for him. And that's how our story began, man. It's crazy. So, and that was 2012, and here we are today. So we were married 8 months later.
Like 13 kids later.
Yeah. So Kendrick Brothers, the movie producers that are listening, call
yeah,
Josh.
Man, I'm telling you. And like her story, so we've known each other. We grew up together.
Right.
West Augusta Baptist Church was started in 1975, same year as Victory, by her grandpa. Her and I grew up at West Augusta Baptist Church up until I was, I think, 12, and then her grandpa resigned the church because he was, like, retired. Her family moved to Appling, went to Coyote. My family went over to Victory. And from then until the day she walked into Victory, we never saw each other. But immediately when we got brought back together, it was just crazy. So my parents, her parents were best friends. So it's a cool story, man.
Divine appointment is real.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm probably talking too much on your podcast.
No, you're the guest. That's your job.
Apparently, I talk too much.
I also did have a big energy drink before I came in here, which may have been a bad idea.
Whatever. This is just you all the time,
That's like
man.
your second one.
No, I brought one for Ethan this morning, bro.
Mindy, he's been drinking like three.
Are you on high blood pressure medicine yet?
You know what? I think at my last doctor's appointment, they did tell me it was a lot.
You're getting old and fat.
I probably need to watch that.
Oh, man.
Lord help me.
Old and fat. You see this dude? He goes to the gym, man.
I know. This joker's rock solid.
No,
Probably the handsomest
not anymore.
fella I've ever
not
seen.
anymore. I've been
Rock
slacking.
Solid.
Rock solid.
Time to get back. So yeah, I guess all that to say, Bruce, to answer your question, like we were circling back to that about, I think I've never been more excited about the young adult ministry at Victory than I am right now. I've never seen it, I think, thriving the way it has, just because of just what God's doing, man, between Seth and Lindsay, you know, and all the leadership like you guys who just pour into it, man, that's what it's needed. And so it used to be that teenagers would not want to leave the teen ministry. They were like, Josh, we got to go. We don't want to go. Let's stay here. We love the teen ministry. Like, this is amazing. To now, like, they're ready. They're ready to move on. They're like, soon when they're already like, they're ready to graduate and move over there because it's so exciting, right? So So I'm super pumped that we have what we have at Victory, and we're blessed. We used to pray for these kind of days, right?
Right.
We used to pray when Preacher Brown was here. We would say, Lord, what are you going to do next? Like, what are you going to do at Victory? There's nobody that can fill Preacher Brown's shoes, right? Aaron, dude was just incredible. Yeah. He was just amazing.
He was the man.
So we would pray, Lord, what are you going to do? Lord, what are you going to do? And to have Pastor CT come along, and it never missed a beat, and it's just like it always was, and even better, even larger than it's ever been, and growing more than it's ever been.
So we had 2,000 last Sunday?
Yeah, man, like right at 2,000 people. That's just crazy to think about it, man.
Had Bruce not died off last week, he'd have been there.
we had 4,000 at the men's Bible study today. We're doing pretty good.
Evangelistically speaking, right?
Yeah.
They heard it.
I'm just glad Josh came this morning. He's such a
look. It's his day
he's
off.
a late bloomer.
He's not used to getting up early anyway.
So I think it's like teen ministry, bro. All you do is stay up late
all night.
And for the last 12 years of my life, you just stay up all night with kids and hang out.
You had a whole year to recuperate.
Dude, I'm not a morning person, bro. I hate the mornings. Like before 9 o'clock, don't talk to me.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you was in here at like 7:15.
I know, bro.
7:30.
I was dragging too, but here we are. After a little energy drink and some food and time to wake up, I'm good, bro.
You just need to surrender everything to the Lord in the morning.
That's
that was some good food.
Surrender that attitude. Them grits were on par.
Yeah, man.
They were kind of subpar today.
Shut your
They
mouth.
were a little thick.
I've told you how much that hurts me.
They were not as runny as they normally were.
I hate you. So
They were good. They really were.
what was I gonna? I had something I was gonna ask you.
It's Jordan's fault.
Oh, you know what? So, and we'll figure something out. I'll probably we're at 30 minutes now, so this will be our stopping point for the first part of that. So we're going to go into the second part of the podcast.
Sounds like this is going to be John's part.
No, it's not. Shut up, Bruce.
Why are you whispering?
I don't know. So
He's setting the mood.
He's gonna edit it out.
one
Edit out some stuff.
thing that like blew my mind. And
That's not our podcast. That's CT's. Don't say one thing again.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just kidding.
That's right. He's got that copyrighted.
Something that I thought about that blew my mind was, I think your mom mentioned it to me, and then we talked about it. But the Lord, because you're probably the coolest guy I've ever known. You know what I mean? You're like my best friend and all that. But the Lord told you that you'll never be first. You feel like you'll always be second.
Oh yeah, you talking about
what was that we talked about?
Yeah, I think you and I have talked that before. My very first class in Bible college, like at the very first one I took, it was like maybe in the first or second night of Bible college there at Victory. Steve Hurt was still there, right? And
Shout out Steve Hurt.
Love Steve Hurt. He is like literally the guru, right? The wisdom guru of Victory all those years. And I remember he was doing a class on discerning your personal mission, like how to basically discern and have wisdom to know what it is your calling is for your life, right? And in this class, he talked about how he remembers coming down here and being with Preacher Brown and just knowing, like, God speaking to him that he was not supposed to be like a pastor or the number one guy, but he had a calling to be the two guy. Because the responsibility of being a pastor, right, of a church, that's a big deal. Like the shepherd of all these people, right? And so in his mind, his heart, he was always the two guy, and that was his calling. And I remember in my life at that time, so I just came through divorce. Think about this. And in our culture that we live in our circles, in the Baptist circles, if you're divorced, like you're just like
damaged goods.
You're damaged, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can't become a pastor. And I even thought that back then that, okay, I'm not going to become a pastor or anything, but maybe I could be the guy who like supports the guys that do it. That was honestly my thought. When I started Bible college, I never wanted to, I didn't start Bible college to be in ministry, but that very first night of discerning your personal mission, when Steve Hurt says, I don't really even want to be the main guy. I want to be the guy who supports and helps the pastor. I thought to myself, I could probably do that. I could probably be the guy who helps the pastor do his thing, and whatever he needs, whatever that man needs to be successful, I could probably bring that. And it's funny that the very first week of Bible college, all those years ago, that's what God put in my spirit, my heart, and literally still today, that's what I do. It's like, Pastor, what do you need? What can I do? And it didn't start there though. It started with Brent Carr, believe it or not.
Right.
You guys know Brent Carr, evangelist. Some of the people in the podcast may not know him, but
he thinks he's a better cook than me, but he's not.
Ooh, Brent, Brent's pretty good. So
Brent cooks really good.
Yeah, shout out to
Love you,
Carr
Brent.
Family Ministries. Right, if you don't know who they are, look them up on Facebook. Great music, man. They're about to start a new music project.
Awesome.
Really cool to watch, like how he started with Gracie, and now his girls are kind of singing now because they've grown up, and now Gracie's got her own thing with Nathaniel. Doing a great thing at their church. So, but yeah, so it's all started for me. I started Bible college, so it didn't start with like, oh, I'm going to go find the pastor of a church and support him. No, it was, okay, I'm supposed to be the 2 guy. That's what God told me. All right, so what does that look like? So that looks like anytime, any ministry I go into, find the person running that ministry, no matter what ministry it is, and make ministry easier for that person. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was, I found Brent Carr, who was like the Seth is now of the young adults. That's who he was then.
Yep.
He was running this young adult ministry, and I thought, I'm in Bible college. This is my season. I'm going to plug into the young adult ministry and do whatever I can to make Brent's life easier and successful. And listen, I'm telling you, if you're out there listening to this podcast right now and you're young, you're in ministry, and you're trying to like do something for God, find a problem and solve it. That's ministry. Find a problem and solve that problem for somebody that's trying to do ministry. Make life easier for them, and you will find favor with that person.
That's good.
Dude, I'm telling you, all I did is I went to Brent and was like, hey, I'm supposed to be in the young adult ministry, and I'm supposed to serve you because I'm the 2 guy and make life easier for you. What do you need? You would be amazed, bro, at where your life would go if you'll just find somebody that's living for the Lord, that's, smarter than you. He had more wisdom than me, and I knew I wanted to do something for God. Brent knew how to do it.
Right.
So I just said, all right, I'm going to help me. I want to solve problems for you. I want to fix it for you. What do you want? And yet, if you're young trying to serve the Lord, don't create problems for people. That gets you in trouble, right? Don't create problems. Solve problems for others, and you will add value to their life, and you will find favor with those people, and you watch what God does with your life. So that's kind of how it started for me. So when you asked John the 2 guy thing, I've always thought, Lord, I just want to be the 2 guy, because honestly, I thought I wasn't qualified to be the 1 guy because of my divorce. Now, I will say this. Through those years and through recovery, I've gone through like the recovery process. It's pretty amazing. Adam Sellers, shout out Adam Sellers. Has he been on here yet?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So shout out to Adam Sellers.
Oh, you just got John excited when you said
Oh,
that.
I know it. We could go on
He's
for
got
days.
a picture of Adam in his wallet.
He does.
Dude, I mean, I would too, right? Adam.
It's in front of your picture.
Oh, I'm okay with that. Adam's incredible. I'm okay.
He's
with
the
that.
number 2 guy.
I'm the 2 guy. I just told you that. Adam can be first in recovery, and I can be the 2 guy. I know I do not. When it comes to Adam, I know about this a small cupful of recovery, compared to him. So I was sitting in one of Adam's recovery 180 classes for the teenagers, actually, right? So it wasn't even for me. I brought him in to teach teenagers recovery during the teen years there. Mm-hmm. And it was in that, believe it or not, it was in that moment that I went through some recovery steps with Adam that God spoke into my spirit and said, hey, if you don't have to be the 2 guy, but you've always chosen to be, but I don't hold any of that stuff back there against you. That was man's judgment upon you, that you thought you couldn't be the 1 guy. But he's confirmed in my spirit, if one day you want to do that or be a pastor one day, God's told me he'll bless it. So I know that. So I don't have to live according to man's judgment that says, you can only be the husband of 1 wife, because that's their interpretation. God's given me what I know my interpretation is, and that's a polygamy interpretation. So I know, and even if it wasn't, I know with my situation and the abandonment that happened in my divorce, God has already confirmed in my spirit, if I ever wanted to not be the 2 guy and to become a pastor, he would bless it. Right. So, I know that, and I'm excited that maybe one day that would happen. But for right now,
I'm thinking Bryson City. I'm there with you, brother. I'm moving up there with you.
First Baptist Church of Bryson City, North Carolina. No, we'll call it Deep Creek Baptist Church.
Oh,
we'll literally just sit on the creek and witness to people as they tube by us.
Yes, we'll throw doves at them.
Right.
You know what I mean, something. Why would we throw doves? Shut up, Aaron.
You said it.
I don't know.
Like Holy Spirit bombs. Doves?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Holy Spirit. That's a good one.
That's what the Holy Spirit. Yeah,
I just got Holy Ghost bubbles on my skin.
That's cool, man. That's a good question, and thank you for asking that, John, because it did bring up some cool things in my life that I think have helped me to get where I am. never be above just serving people, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, never be above serving others. And that's what I've tried to live my life that way. Like, I remember when people see me, I think a lot of times I'll be out and about or be doing stuff with Pastor CT, or I'll be like at a Rise or at a Smoky Mountain Jubilee or at some conference, and they come up to me and they're like, I'm gonna cry right now. I probably cry too much, but I'm just thinking about this because I think this is important for somebody to hear. All they see is what they see on Sunday morning, like on this live stream, and thousands of people watch this. I mean, I was literally in the middle of Dollywood on my family vacation last year. It wasn't even during your eyes, and some random woman walks up to me and was like, "Aren't you the music director for Victory in Pastor CT's church? Like, we watch you every Sunday." So it's like people see that, you know what I'm saying? And it still blows my mind. People see that, and that's what they see. But you know what I see? Every time somebody asks me that, you know what I see? I see the corner room at Victory Baptist Church where the young adults, behind the young adult room, not even the young adult room, behind the young adult room, the corner room where Brent said one day when I first started Bible college, he said, "Hey, will you come help me lead music in the young adults on Sunday morning for Sunday school?" I was like, "Yeah, man. I'm the 2 guy. I'm going to serve you. Tell me what to do. Hey, where's the piano? Oh, we don't have one of those. Hey, where's the guitar, Brent? No, we don't have one of those either. Where's the tracks? We don't have tracks. Well, Brent, how do you want me to lead music? Just get up there and do it, bro. Lead music." And I was like, "Yes, sir. Let's go." Acapella. Some glad morning when this life, you know what I'm saying? So when people look at me and be like, "Oh, you're the guy that leads music on the stage at Victory," you know
with
what I see?
2,000 people watching.
Yeah, with 1,000 people. Like, they see that, bro. But I see being faithful in the corner room of Victory 15 years ago when the man of God, who, the person in your life who's in charge of you that you're serving, the man of God asked me to do it. And I said, "Yes, sir, let's go."
That's awesome.
And if you're faithful with the little things, hey, guys, God will make you rulers over much.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
He wants to know you'll be faithful.
A failed marriage, a failed career.
Yeah, that's
and
me, bro.
Now God is being faithful in your life. That's pretty cool.
That's me, man. Hey, damaged goods.
So
God likes that.
You're talking about flashbacks. Let me ask you this. So, and I don't remember how long ago this was, but me and my wife, I had been at Victory, and then we had left, and we went back. They were doing some type of presentation. So they had the whole entire stage cleared out, and they were doing a presentation, and it was about the devil trying to take over, and there was one that was, they had a simulated truck on stage with a drunk driver, and then the kid who was drinking alcohol with the gun and took his own life and portrayed all that. So that was my first recollection of you.
Your first what?
Recollection.
Recollection.
That's a hard word, bro.
Recollection of you. And I mean, there was people I knew for months after that spoke about that as far as how real life and how real world that was to them at that time. So I don't know. Do you remember that? Can you?
Yeah, I think it's like, so I was in that, right?
Yep.
I think that was I don't know if that was a youth conference and it was a drama that we may have did.
It was a drama, but I don't know what the whole making of it was.
Man, in the last 15 years, like every year we did something for a youth conference, and there was something, but I don't remember if that was, I know we did one about the life of Barry Spears. So I don't know if it was his life we were portraying, and we kind of showed, like, because he was part of the Hells Angels at one point, so I know we did that. I know we've done several dramas, but man, there's no telling. There's no telling, but those were pretty fun. Those back when I was a youth pastor, and all we had to do was make funny, stupid videos and commercials, and do fun dramas and do stuff with teenagers. Those were the days, right? So that's pretty cool, though. That was pretty impactful on somebody's life. So it's amazing. I love that.
What's one of your favorite stories with Pastor Brown?
Preacher Brown. Oh gosh.
If you had to pick
that
one
you can
to
tell.
remember,
Yeah.
Okay, so there are so many stories that I've heard of him that, like, CT and guys like Chad McNeese tell that back in the day.
Shout out Chad McNeese.
Yeah, I love Chad McNeese. Chad McNeese was actually the young adult pastor at Victory before Brent, and I remember Chad McNeese. We went to Scarowinds with Chad years ago. This was when I first started at Victory, as far as the young adult ministry. We went to Scarowinds, and I remember there was some weird dude, like, you know how they have people dressed up at scare wins, and they're in like all these different costumes and outfits, and they're trying to scare you, and they come around the corners and stuff. You know, it's at night. Some guy came around the corner to scare like me and a couple of these girls, and I was trying to impress them. So I took the mask off the guy's face and like ran off with it. And dude, I mean, immediately, within seconds, bro, security was on me, bro. They were like, "You cannot touch the people that scare you." I'm like, "Bro, they just scared me. I'm sorry, it was a reaction, you know." And they were kicking me out, literally kicking me out of Carowinds. Like they were escorting me to the gate, and my whole young adult group was there, and I felt so stupid, bro. In that moment, I felt so dumb. I was like, "Oh man, I'm getting kicked out." And Chad stepped in and saved the day, bro. He looked at those security guys and was like, "I can't believe you guys doing this crap, man." But he gave them what for. So Chad saved my life that day. So I owe Chad McNeese my life when it comes to Carowinds. But anyway, I'm sorry. What was your other question?
Preacher Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite story.
So I've got lots of stories of Preacher Brown, but a lot of them are from just what I've heard. But my favorite story of him, as far as like just me personally, I remember the very first time he asked me to go on a trip with him. Oh. And it was me and Brent Carr, Katie, Becky, and CT. It was just us. So it's kind of weird. It was like back when Brent and Katie were dating, and I think it was back when Becky and CT were dating. So like I don't think either one were married at the time, but it was just them two couples and me. And it was just like, and then Pastor Brown. He had one of these. Y'all remember them conversion vans?
Yep.
Like them Chev. It was a Chev. Who made them things? I don't even know.
His was a GMC, I believe.
Was it? It was like you get in it, and the seats, like captain chairs, are like leather with the cup holders, and there's lights on the ceiling, bro, and there's like a TV in it. Okay, so he had one of these conversion vans, and so we're all in the back of this conversion van hanging out, and we're pulling out of Victory, and we are on the way to go sing and preach somewhere. I thought, man, this is the coolest day of my life. I'm going with Preacher Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is my first time going. You know, didn't know anything about like his traveling style, and so we hit I-20, right? We get off on exit 5 to go, I guess, out towards maybe Clinton or somewhere, you know, upstate area, right? We get off exit 5, and he's coming around the interstate, like coming around the on-ramp, right? And you know how, like, when you're getting on the on-ramp, you have to look behind you to merge, but you need to keep looking in front of you, because sometimes people don't yield at the yield sign. They stop at yield signs because they're idiots, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the whole time, brother did not, he just turned this way, and he was just driving, looking behind him to make sure he get on, and all of us are looking this way, and there is a car dead stop at that yield sign. He never saw it. Never saw that car. He turned this way and was driving, and all of us, all in one voice in unison, began to scream out loud, there's a car! You know, we're just screaming. And he's looking this way. He turns around, and by the time he turns around, I feel like he's inches from this car, and he just, boom, cranks that whole conversion van into the ditch for about 2 seconds, misses the car, jumps that ditch, and boom, back up on the road, never missed a beat. And he looked at us and says, "You guys are just as safe with me as you were the Holy Ghost. Y'all just hold on. We're going somewhere." And bro, I about died. We all just peed our pants right there, you know. So it was just, that was one of my funniest. And me, CT, and Brent, all of us, like, we almost just died, and he didn't even care. He's like, woof, just pulled off the road back on, bro. So that was a fun trip.
He was fun to be around for sure.
Dude was crazy.
I got to ride in the car with him a couple times, and I'm not going to repeat what was said, but
man, he is just so real, man. Like,
he was.
He loved people, right? He loved
did.
people, and he could get around people, and it didn't matter if we were at a black church with all black folk or if we were at the countryest, like, redneck church. He didn't care. He'd get around them, and they all just loved him. He just acted a fool, and he'd go to a black church, and he'd wear an all yellow, bright yellow suit to try to fit in with the brothers. You know what I'm saying? And they loved him, bro. He was like, yes. But then he'd go somewhere like with that one church that was off of Booger Swamp Road. You know, he'd always talk about. I can't remember that church name. And he'd go there, and they'd love him, man. So it was just, I think when you love people like Jesus loved people, man, they just
agape love.
People are attracted to that, right?
Yeah,
and they love
kind.
that. That's right. So
And he was like that with everybody, though. I mean, I left church and didn't come back for years. And the first time I seen him, when me and Angela got together, and he come up and hugged my neck, told me he loved me, and he looked at her and he looked at me, he said, "You sure outkicked your coverage, son." Thanks, Rev.
Yep. I think he never forgot where he came from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He never forgot that God pulled him out of this old sailor, you know, Navy sailor who was just living for hell and the devil. And he always remembered that about people. And he always gave people second chances, which is just amazing how he did that. And that's what Victory has kind of been known for, right? It's been like this life, this lighthouse, this hospital. This hospital, yeah. I mean, I can think of somebody right now, this very moment, a pastor who's been hurt, who's actually coming to Victory to try to come and just get refreshed and get restored. Man, if we could, that's what it's always been, man. It's been a place where people can get help.
Well, I
people
mean,
get healing.
that's where I think a lot of churches fail. Like, we're all humans.
Mm-hmm.
We all are imperfect. We all make mistakes, whether we're a Christian for 50 years or a Christian for 5 minutes. I mean, if I go out, stub my toe out here and say a cuss word, it's, in God's eyes, it's the same as the man down the road that just murdered somebody.
Yeah.
But we as humans put a pedestal and different titles on sin and which is worse than the other. And, you know, but one thing is true at Victory, no matter what you've done, when you come back, you know, there are going to be people that are like, man, don't talk to him or don't look at her or, you know, whatever. But but for the most part, you're accepted.
Yeah.
You know, we realize, hey, you've messed up, but God's still going to use you.
That's
God still can use you because you're still breathing.
Yeah. Yeah, so many people, like, I feel like I've heard a lot of people talk about independent Baptist churches and church hurt, you know, a lot of the years. And, man, people, that's pretty damaging. Like, from what I have heard about people and talking about church hurt, man, that's some damaging stuff about, like, how the church has hurt them. And, like, I got to be honest, I grew up at Victory, but I never have experienced that. Like, I don't even know what that is. Like, what do you mean church hurt? Like, my people at my church loved me, you know what I'm saying? And they restored me, and I was broken. And, like, I got to be honest, guys, I think that's just what Jesus would do to people. You know what I'm saying? I just don't, you know, Jesus, I mean, he forgives us. I mean, if he used Peter, and Peter screwed up so many times, and after denying them and messing up the way Peter did, man, I just think we could also love people, forgive people, and, you know, and watch God use them. So praise the Lord for that.
Yeah.
So Jordan, any other questions? As a young fella, you know, over here, like, just any kind of advice or any kind of questions you got for me, bro?
Well, that you just said about church hurt, it is serious. Like, you know, I experienced it a little bit myself growing up, just the stuff I seen, but my wife super experienced it. Yeah. And I'm not going to go into too much detail, but between her mom and some stuff that was going on in the church, and it just, like, ruined her. Right. And, sorry, my phone's going off.
No, you're fine.
But, she was so nervous to come back to church, and I was too, in a sense, because I grew up in a Pentecostal church with 30 people in it, you know, and I come to, you know, I come and watch Gus preach the first time.
That's awesome.
That's the first time I come to y'all's church, and then, you know, we were just in that side room. There was more people in that room listening to Gus than I've ever been in church with. You know?
That's
so
crazy.
it was nice, but then I come to the men's retreat or
outdoor extravaganza.
Yeah, the outdoor extravaganza last year. Yeah. And that's the first time actually being in the sanctuary, and I'm like, oh my goodness, look at the size of this place.
It can be overwhelming.
Like, oh yeah.
Holy cow, you know. So I was already nervous, and then that first Sunday we came, Aaron saves the front row for us, and I was like, "Oh, buddy,
you're like
Aaron,
right
in there."
Thanks. What a blessing, Aaron.
Put you right in the fire, boy.
And it was super uncomfortable for my wife, but the one thing she did say when we left was like, everybody was so nice, and you know, we didn't get that where we were from. We were from super judgmental, you know, churches, and made a huge difference.
Church hurt's a real thing, man. Like, just because I have never dealt with it doesn't mean it's not real, and I know a lot of people for sure have experienced it. And it's terrible to think that a church, a place that's supposed to be a place of healing, you know, and help, actually could hurt somebody and turn them away from that. You know, it's sad. And so, man, I hope your wife and you guys have had a chance to really walk through some of that and to get some of that out and to really, you know, get forgiveness maybe. And that's hard, man. It's hard stuff.
Yeah, that first Sunday I was thinking, we're about to go in here and we're going to find the farthest pew we can find from the altar. And that's where we're going to be at, and that's where we're going to spend every Sunday. And when we seen Aaron holding that front row down for us,
you're like, God, I hate you, Aaron.
Like, I could kill this guy. But now I wouldn't trade it. You know, I don't want to sit anywhere else.
But he was
That's
doing you
a
favor. He was taking distractions.
Exactly,
out of
and that's
view.
how I see it. And now I got my best friend. He sits with me every day, you know, and his wife was the same way. She wanted to be, you know, she wanted to back up. She didn't like the eye contact with, like, y'all singing and CT right there. It was just like, oh my God, this is so much. But, we actually tried the next Sunday or maybe a Sunday after that. We were going to go back up on the balcony just, so they're more comfortable. And before service even started, I was like, man, Connor, look at all these people between us. And he's like, yeah, you're right. Let's go back down there.
We got to get back in front.
It makes a difference. And I'm going to be honest with you, because my wife doesn't like being up close. And, I'm first or second row guy.
Thanks for listening, and remember, the smoke may settle, but the embers stay lit. This was the Gunpowder, Propane and Jesus podcast. Stay tuned for the next part of this episode.